Sony has been unusually quiet about the FX3 sequel, and that silence is doing more damage to their competition than any announcement could. The original FX3 became one of those cameras that filmmakers stopped questioning and started just using. It disappeared into productions, earned repeat bookings, and built a reputation that most cinema cameras spend years chasing. So when credible leaks started surfacing about an FX3 II, the reaction wasn't hype, it was something closer to genuine interest. In this video, we're breaking down everything that's leaked so far. The specs, the rumored price, a possible release window, and the one detail that could make this the most important Sony cinema release in years. Stick with me because the further we get into this, the more interesting it becomes. The most talked about leak right now centers on the sensor, and this is where Sony appears to be making a calculated decision rather than a flashy one. Multiple sources are pointing toward a stacked BSI sensor in the 12 to 15 megapixel range, which on paper sounds conservative, but in practice is a very deliberate choice. Larger pixels, better thermal efficiency, and a significantly faster readout speed. That last part matters more than most people realize, because faster readout is what kills rolling shutter. And rolling shutter is the thing that makes handheld cinema footage look cheap. If Sony nails this, the FX3 II could become the cleanest handheld shooter in its class, without needing optical correction as a crutch. Here's where the leaks get genuinely exciting. The FX3 II is reportedly capable of 4K at 120 frames per second with no crop, and there's even early chatter about 4K RAW output over HDMI finally making the cut. That would be a first for this line, and it would instantly reframe how small crews approach their recording workflow. On top of that, the AI-assisted autofocus system is expected to get a meaningful upgrade, building on the already strong tracking Sony introduced with the A7S III for run-and-gun shooters, documentary crews, or anyone working without a dedicated focus puller. That improvement is not just nice to have, it's a real operational difference on set.
One thing the original FX3 never quite got full credit for was how well thought out its physical design was, and based on what's leaking, Sony isn't messing with that formula. The body is expected to stay compact and familiar, with refinements rather than a redesign. What is changing, apparently, is the audio section. There are strong rumors of expanded multi-channel audio support and improved preamp quality baked into the body itself, which addresses one of the most common complaints from solo operators who want professional audio without carrying an external recorder everywhere. If this holds up, the FX3 II starts looking like a camera built specifically around how people actually shoot, rather than how spec sheets get written. Pricing leaks are pointing to a range between $4,500 and $5,200 at launch, which would position it slightly above the original FX3's debut price, but well within what this category typically commands. As for when it actually arrives, the strongest signals right now suggest a reveal sometime in late 2025 or very early 2026, potentially timed ahead of a major trade show. Sony tends to build momentum slowly before a drop like this, so the calm period we're in right now might actually be the calm before something significant. Keep an eye on Sony's official channels over the next few months, because when they usually move fast. The FX3 II doesn't need to reinvent cinema cameras. It just needs to be better in the places that filmmakers actually feel every day. Cleaner low light, faster readout, smarter audio, and reliable autofocus that doesn't need babysitting. If the leaks are accurate, Sony seems to understand that. The question I want to put to you is whether refinement at this level is enough to justify the upgrade, or do you need something more radical to pull the trigger? Drop your answer in the comments.
What if the next Sony camera doesn't chase 8K hype, but quietly becomes the best 4K video camera money can buy? And what if it does that at a lower price than you expect? The Sony A7S III changed the game back in 2020. It became the run-and-gun king, low-light monster, reliable workhorse. But 5 years in tech is basically a lifetime, and now the A7S4 leaks are getting loud. In this video, we're breaking down the sensor upgrade, 6K open gate rumors, rolling shutter improvements, AI autofocus, and the big question everyone's asking: could this thing actually launch cheaper? Let's get into it. So, what do we know? The strongest leaks point to a brand new stacked sensor landing around 24 megapixels, with roughly 20 megapixels optimized for video. Now, I know what you're thinking. More megapixels means worse low light, right? That's been the S-series philosophy forever. Keep it around 12 megapixels, maximize sensitivity. But here's where it gets interesting. Sony is rumored to use dual-layer transistor pixel technology. Think of it like giving the sensor a second floor. Instead of cramming light-capturing components and processing electronics into the same tiny space, they split them across layers. That means better light absorption and faster readout speeds without sacrificing resolution. If this is real, you're basically getting higher resolution and improved dynamic range without killing the legendary low-light performance. That's not a minor refresh, that's a serious generational jump. Now let's talk video features. The headline rumor is 6K open gate recording. If you have never used open gate, think of your sensor as a full canvas instead of a cropped strip. You capture the entire sensor height and width. That means you can shoot once and deliver horizontal YouTube, vertical shorts, and even square content without reshooting. This is huge for hybrid creators. One take, multiple formats, maximum flexibility in post. And here's the kicker. That 4K you shoot will likely be oversampled from 6K. In simple terms, the camera captures more detail and then scales it down. That means sharper footage, cleaner textures, and better color data compared to native 4K. Sony seems to be doubling down on perfect 4K instead of chasing 8K headlines. And honestly, that might be the smarter move. Stacked sensors are not just about resolution, they are about speed. Faster readout means dramatically reduced rolling shutter. You know that jelly effect when you pan too fast. If the leaks are accurate, the A7S4 could approach near global shutter performance. That would make it a dream for action shooters, sports filmmakers, and anyone who hates warped vertical lines. Now add Sony's newer AI processing unit into the mix. We've already seen it in the A7R5 and A9 III. It recognizes subjects based on body shape and movement, not just faces. That means tracking a person even if they turn away or wear a helmet. For solo creators, that's massive. You can trust the autofocus. You stop babysitting focus and start focusing on the story. That's the kind of upgrade that actually changes your workflow. Sony also seems ready to fix one of the most requested usability issues. The A7S4 is expected to adopt the 4-axis multi-angle screen from the A7R5, and trust me on this one, that's not a small detail. Traditional flip screens are great for vlogging, but annoying when cables are plugged in. This new design tilts and flips independently. On a long shoot, that kind of flexibility makes a difference. We also expect the high-resolution electronic viewfinder to stay, possibly brighter and smoother. Small refinements, but ones that professionals will appreciate. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why stop at 6K when competitors are pushing 8K? Here's the deal. True 8K requires around 33 megapixels or more. That creates more heat, bigger files, and often worse low light. Sony seems to be making a calculated decision. Instead of being an 8K spec monster, the A7S4 will likely be the ultimate 4K tool. And in real-world production, most projects are still delivered in 4K, even big-budget films. So focusing on better dynamic range, cleaner oversampled footage, and reliable performance might be the smarter play. Now about the price. This is where rumors get interesting. Manufacturing improvements and competitive pressure from Canon and Panasonic could push Sony to position the A7S4 slightly lower than the A7S III launched at. Imagine a meaningful upgrade with a slightly more aggressive price tag. So here's the big question. Are you waiting for the A7S4, or does your current setup still get the job done? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive.